All right, guys. So we're going to kick off with the news. We're going to kick off with the news. And how better to kick off our news than Black and White getting a reprint. Essentially, this is a reprint. I'm calling it a reprint of Black and White because there are a lot of cards in here that are direct reprints of the original base set. And we've also got some cards from some other Japanese, other Black and White sets. But what I want to draw our eyes to immediately is the fact that we've got the same holo pattern that we loved. One of the things that I love the most about Black and White era was the holo pattern, and even more so Japanese, because the holo pattern extended to the borders. Now in English Black and White, the holo pattern did not extend to the borders. The borders were our standard yellow borders. But in Japanese, the holo extended to the borders. So I'll be keen to see what English does this time, if we do get the foiling on the borders or not. But nonetheless, I love the holo. So seeing this was amazing. Seeing this made me so excited. Now, some other news that's come out of Black and White that is coming up in a few months is that there's going to be an art rare for every single Pokemon. The all 156 Pokemon. All 156 Pokemon, right? Yes, all 156 Pokemon will get an art rare. So I think that's going to be awesome. I think that's going to be absolutely awesome. We've got all our friends, all our Black and White friends, which is going to be absolutely epic. Very, very keen seas. Now look at some of the art rares that we've seen already. Some of the art rares that has popped out of this. Snivy. Great Pokemon, by the way. Superior. That's an SAR as well. That's an alt art right there. That's an alt art. So that is looking very, 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 very nice. Very, very nice. Not a card that I'm personally, I'm not a huge fan of Superior. So not really my cup of tea. But I do love me some Pignite. Epic, even. I don't know what's wrong with my brain today. I've been getting the words wrong. Here we go. We got Pignite. And we have Ambor. The Ambor actually looks really nice. And that's just an art rare, not an SAR. Which I find interesting that we don't have an alt art. We don't have an SAR for Ambor, by the way. That is very interesting. We got Oshawott, DeWatt, and Samurott. Samurott also gets an art rare and not an alt art. So, why did they go with that choice? I do not know. I do not know. We've got pictures of the pack art, which is awesome. And again, this is just showing you what the holos used to look like. So we're getting essentially a remaster of them. So there will be the binder, which actually has the same. This promo is actually going to be the same card that's in the set. So you can actually pull this card in the set. If you don't want to, you can buy the call them the file binders or the file, because you've got a 3-card binder in there. But we got more cards revealed. We had more cards revealed yesterday, guys, and this is insane. Right? I think it was Boundaries Crossed where we got our Black Zekrom. And if Josh is in the chat, he can probably correct me there. But we're getting a new Black Zekrom, guys, and it's got a new rarity. It's BWR. The Black and White Rare. The Black and White Rare. This looks absolutely insane. Absolutely insane. We also have the Reshiram to match. But I do believe, if someone can correct me, I believe it was Boundaries Crossed when we first got these two cards. And then we had them reprinted in Celebrations. We had them reprinted in Celebrations with the cool, awesome Celebrations foil. But this is completely textured. This is amazing. Now, to throw a spanner in the works, though, these two you can pull from the set. This one you cannot pull from the set. This is going to be up for raffle in Japan. Limited of 2,000. Limited of 2,000. And that's it. Now, you will be able to get them in person at events that you play at some of the battle events that they run in Japan. Now, usually battle event promos do not come to English, especially if we look at things like Battle Day Lily, Battle Day Acerola. Those cards don't come to English. But I'm hoping this time we do I hope this time we do. I really want the Victini. I'm worried it's going to be really expensive. So I'm a little bit worried. Victory Pokemon was always a Pokemon I thought was pretty cool. I do like me some Victini. But I can't go past the Reshiram and Zekrom. Have to have one of these each in my collection. And in fact, having the entire black and white Pokédex get an art rare is insane! Think of that's 152 art rares in this one set. Now, rumor has it that every single pack will have an art rare. Rumor has it that every single pack will have an art rare. So, that is going to be off the chains. Off the chains. I'm excited. I hope you guys are excited. Black and White base had the black and white Reshiram that was in the celebrations. Oh, right. Okay. I thought it was Boundaries Cross that had this one here. But maybe it was base. Actually, it was base. It was base. My bad. It was base. Got a pack of base here. And that's what I wanted out of it. Good point. But that is our news for today, guys. I hope you guys are excited because I really am. We're going to be making sure we stock up on this in Japanese. And, of course, we're stocking up on it in English. And we'll have it for you nice and early as we usually do. All right, now we're done with the news. It's time to get into the market update. The market update, chat. All right, so kicking off our market update today is the Reshiram stamped promo from the enhanced booster boxes. So this was the one that you got in the booster box of Journey Together. And guys, this was selling for a lot of money. Don't forget, prices are in USD. I will convert on the flight for you guys. This pre-sold as a pre-order sold for up to 70 USD. Guys, that's 100 AUD. Then we had 1,216 of them sold between 2 days at 25 USD a piece. At 25 USD a piece. A bunch sold here at 51, 131 sold at 51. And then we're seeing it drop, continue to drop, guys, and we're now at $10. We're now at $10. I do think this is a card that's going to go up in the future. I do think that this is a card that's going to go up in the future. But definitely a card to keep your eye on. I think it's at a great price to pick up now as well. It may drop a little bit more. I mean, let's have a look what we're doing in the month. Yeah, it's probably going to maybe drop to just below $10. We've seen the lowest it hit was $9.93. Last sold was $11. If we have a look at what the last solds have been sitting at, this one obviously sold maybe for a little bit more because they've shown a photo of it. Potentially, it's gradable. But I think that we could probably get this. I'm hoping that we can get this for 10 AUD. I'm hoping we can get, yeah, I think, I haven't put it on my time to buy yet. I want to see what it does next week. Now, looking at Journey Together, guys, we're staying on Journey Together. We're looking at Journey Together booster boxes now. Bear in mind, the US market is cheaper than the AU market just because their retail is cheaper. But we're looking at, it's down from the start of the month. Start of the month, we saw it hit to, a peak of 215 USD. So it's about 300 USD, whilst here it's sitting at around the 350 at the moment. And it's dropped to 200, which is closer to, that's probably, here you're probably looking at 320 AUD. Now you're sitting at around 300 AUD, and our local market's sitting around 350. But still seeing that it's dropping is a good sign, very healthy sign. And, we're seeing about 20 boxes sold a day via TCG Player. When it first dropped, we saw, 40 really sell then. But obviously, as the set's been out for longer, we're seeing less selling. We see the 50s selling in a 2-day period twice earlier on in the month. Moving on now, and we're moving to, it's still staying on Journey Together, guys. We're looking at the Salamence alt art, which we pulled. We just pulled this. We just pulled this for someone the other day. Now, it has seen a massive drop since release. I think it started off at around $200. Yeah, 200 USD, guys. So that's 300 AUD. We've now seen it drop all the way to $90. Last sold was 82, in fact. 82, but we've seen, yeah, around 90, the bulk of them. That may have just been an outlier. That may have just been an outlier. So, possibly a good time to pick it up. I think it's still got a little bit of way to go. That's why I haven't put it in my, right time to pick up section. I think we could still see this drop a little bit more. I think we might get down to 75 USD. And that would be the right time to pick it up. That'll be the right time to pick it up. Moving on now to Twilight Masquerade, guys. An Eevee. It's the year of the Eevees. Year of the Eevees. And this Eevee has not been celebrating its year because this has been going down. And perfect opportunity for those that are actually in the market to pick one of these up. I know J-Girl, you just picked one of these up the other day. So we're looking in the last 3 months, down from a high of 100 USD to 60 USD. We're looking at a 40% decline on this card in the last month alone. We've seen it drop from the high of 67 to last sold to 60. Last sold to 60. But this is lower than when we first aired this about a month ago. About a month or so ago. So, I think we're pretty much at the time to start picking this up. I think we definitely are at the time to start picking this card up. I mean, it was during Twilight Masquerade, which was one of the hardest set to pull, especially SARs from. Tyranitar from Paldea Evolved, guys, also has been dropping from 50 down to 40. Not a huge drop, but we are seeing this month a decline. We're looking at about an 11% drop in the last 4 weeks, the last month. So that's the Tyranitar. A beautiful card, mind you. And Tyranitar has a big fan base. Moving on, we're moving to Surging Sparks here. Now, this is a card I wish I'd sold when I first pulled it. It is down. Prices are down. I knew it was going to happen with summer around the corner in the US, but I just didn't have time to sell it before I left the US. And I've left it in the US at the moment as well. So we're looking at a high of 250. We're now looking at 190. So we're seeing a $60 drop there. We're seeing about a 23% drop. And again, from the start of this month at 200 to 190, we're seeing roughly a 9% drop there on the Latios. Amazing card. It's just not for me. I don't collect Latios. I don't collect Latios. They just aren't. I've got to be very careful with what cards I collect. I already collect too much. So Latios was one that I was definitely happy to move aside because I only really wanted, I really wanted Hydreigon from the set. I wanted Durant, which I got Durant. There was a lot of other alt arts from Surging Sparks that I wanted, but Latios was not one of them. Moving on, one of my favorite cards from Sword and Shield is the Starmie V from Astral Raiders. This card is beautiful. Incredibly difficult to get in a PSA 10. So if you pull a clean one, definitely graded because it sells for a decent quid in PSA 10. And again, we're looking at a peak of about 100, just shy of 110. And we've seen it drop now to around $90. In fact, if we look at last solds, we do have a last sold of 75 and Chinese selling for 70, which is insane. That Chinese is selling for 70 and we're seeing English selling at about $90. So I don't think it's dropped yet. We've still got a bit of time in summer. I think the main period of prices, reaching the bottom will probably be in about 2-3 weeks from now. But if you don't have this card, I recommend grabbing it or trying to pull it because if you do pull a clean one, PSA 10 goes for an absolute bomb. Moving on to Brilliant Stars Trainer Gallery, and we have the Umbreon from this skyrocketed all of a sudden, guys, a few months back. And we've seen it kind of fluctuate. It's not really sitting anywhere too far off some points that it's been. It really has been going up and down. But we are definitely down if you look at the last month. I mean, it went up all of a sudden from $70 to $85. We're back down to around $75. Although I'm looking at I'm looking at some recent sales and they're around $60. The last two was $60. There was a $63 as well. Ignore the 35s. That was Chinese. And we have Spanish at $55. So seeing it come down from $85 to $60 is a big drop. Give it another week or two if you want to pick this card up. It is absolutely beautiful. We've got now also from Brilliant Stars. So I'm trying to theme it all this time, guys. Instead of going what's up and what's down separately. Let me know if you prefer me talking about what's up and what's down separately. But right now, I'm just keeping them together. with their set. So Charizard has seen a pretty decent dip, guys, from 216 to 190. I'm actually seeing last solds at around the 150, 185, 150, 169. So this has taken a massive fall from grace. 215 to some people are picking them up in 160. And it is a top tier card. Absolutely top tier. I mean, it's Venusaur taking on the Charizard. It's got Vine Whip hitting it up. And I just think this card is probably some of the best art Pokemon have ever done. Sylveon V Max from Evolving Skies is also on the downturn. We're seeing most recent sales around the, last one, that was medium plate, so we won't look at that. We're looking at near mints. One sold for 300 near mint. The rest are selling, we got one for 400. The rest are selling around 300. The rest are selling around 300, so down to 300. Forget about that market price and the one that's showing here. From 420 to 300 last solds, this Sylveon has seen a massive dip. The Prismatic one hasn't, but for some reason, the Evolving Skies Sylveon, which is amazing because we've got Vaporeon in it, we've got Marshadow, we've got Eevee, and another Eevee. We've got Flabébé, another Eevee. This is amazing. How and why this is dropping? I mean, we expect everything to drop, but this has dropped a lot, chat. 400 and just shy of 430 down to $300. If you guys have an idea why you think this has dropped, let me know in the chat. Because I cannot put a finger on this. I really don't. It is an amazing card. It is honestly an amazing card. I can't see why this would be dropping. Also on Evolving Skies, on the flip side, we're seeing the Umbreon V on its way up. We're seeing Umbreon V on its way up during a period of the market when everything's going down. We're seeing Umbreon V going up, so we've seen it go up from 258. We're sitting at 292. 292. Umbreon V is defying the market downturn. And there's a few cards in here, guys, that are actually doing the opposite of what the rest of the market is, which is generally halving by about 40%. We have the Espeon V alt art, also from Evolving Skies. This one's gone a bit down. If we're looking at the last 3 months, it had a high of 176. We're looking at a low of 162. Don't worry about that. That is not English. Some selling for 135, 135, 144. That's a big fall from grace there, down from 176. So Evolving Skies has been getting hit, but not the box. Lo and behold, the box goes down. Oh no, the box keeps going from strength to strength. 1,300, dropped a little bit to 1,200. Then we saw a couple of boxes selling at the 1,300 mark. And look at this, guys. 4,362. And we're seeing 1,422. If we look at last solds, they're around the 1,400s, guys. Even 1,500 it's selling for. 1,400, 1,500, 1,500. This is insane. This is insane. We've got the singles going down. Not all of them, but some of the singles going down. And some of the, and the booster box just going up. Which we do kind of expect during summer, Sealed does stay firm. It's singles that go down. And we've got this box. Now, I don't know if you guys remember when this box first came out. If you were around when this first box first came out, I did tell everybody this is going to be one to keep sealed. This is going to be one to keep sealed. I've kept it here because it's got one Evolving Skies booster pack in it. But this was a double-sided box, a really cool product that Pokemon released. And that's gone up from $100. I think I saw it as low as $90. Yeah, as low as $90, guys. And we're sitting at last solds 135, 125, 125. It's definitely gone up with the last 3 sold. Before that, it was sitting between 100 and 120. Still significantly higher than it was. That's a 16% increase without even including the latest 2-3 sales. So if you have one of these, guys, well done for keeping one sealed. Well done for putting one aside. This is only going to get better, this one here. This is a great sealed item. Lugia. Another incredible artwork. I was mind blown when I first saw this. Absolutely mind blown. And it's down. It's down from a high of 300 to 2. I'm seeing some selling here for 260, 272, 269. So from 300, that's about a $40 USD decrease. I mean, we're still talking about a card that's around, 500 AUD, just shy 450 AUD. So it does. All of these sound a lot cheaper in USD. But it's good to show us the decline there. Also, the Prismatic Umbreon. Prismatic Umbreon, we're seeing a drop from about 1,400 at its peak to 1,350. You know, that's about we're talking about a $100 drop here. So roughly about 6% drop on the Umbreon EX from Prismatic. I love this card. I think the art style is second to none. Although the Japanese one, actually, we have no, we don't. And the Japanese one in a PSA 10 is still doing really, really well. I mean, it's gone for 3. I mean, it hasn't changed. The Japanese Umbreon SAR is pretty much at the same price, guys. Just over 500 AUD. That hasn't changed. The PSA 10 is going for, about 600-700 AUD. This one here sold for a lot higher. This one here went for 459. And we're seeing another 10 here for about 500. So it's about your average price would probably be about 500 USD. So you're looking at over 750 AUD for the PSA 10. That's still holding strong. That's holding strong. Japanese has held strong. It's just the English that's dropped by about $100. Also wanted to have a look at the Rockets Moltres SAR. That's dropped a bit. Last time we saw it was around 200 USD. We're now seeing it stabilize at around the 130. I think it's pretty stable around the 130. You were seeing some at the 150, 169, but they're a little bit older. They're a little bit older. The most recent are selling at the 130 mark. And the Nidoking, Nidoking has dropped to 85. So that was about, this is all USD again, guys. So that was about 120 USD. We're seeing it around the $80 mark. Some even sold as low as $60 to $70. This is a great one. I'm definitely buying this one. I'm probably still going to rip some more Rocket. But if I don't hit it in the next 2-3 boxes, I'll definitely buy that and the Crobat. PSA 10 Mewtwo from Glory of Team Rocket is doing insane things, guys. We're talking about a card that is now 1,000 AUD. 1,000 AUD. Even the full art selling for, over 200, 250 AUD. The gold selling for almost 300 AUD. Absolutely insane stuff here that is happening. Absolutely insane stuff that's happening here. But the Mewtwo is doing well. Mewtwo's doing well. Cynthia's Garchomp is down significantly from Heatwave Arena. We're seeing it drop to 200 USD. Guys, when this came out, this was 400 USD. So don't buy on the FOMO. Don't buy as soon as it comes out. The PSA 10 of this is doing rather well, though. PSA 10 is doing rather well. But the raw card has dropped and taken a bigger hit than the PSA 10. So again, if you pull one, make sure you grade it. I mean, if it's 10 worthy, make sure you grade it because keep that in pristine. Crown Zenith is defying all logic right now. Crown Zenith has been going insane. I mean, this month alone, Crown Zenith is up. But if we look at it from the start of the year, we've seen it as low as about $100. 140 it's selling for right now, guys. Over 140. We're seeing a lot of sales at 147. Just shy of 150. That's gone up 50%. This is saying 32% here, but I mean, that is going up by $50. Crown Zenith ETBs. This is why we don't have any to rip. I refuse to pay the prices that it is for it. We'll be paying prismatic prices. And in all honesty, while the cards are really nice, there is no value yet in the cards at the moment. So we need the cards to come up before I can even bother bringing it on stream to rip. Or then it's just not there. Paldean Fates, though. Guys, we're selling Paldean Fates on our store, by the way. Very cheap. When you look at this, an ETB is now selling for $140 USD. We're talking about something that's over 200 AUD right now per ETB. And, that's 9 packs. That works out to be, what, $22, $21.50 per pack of Paldean Fates. So that's just going up. And it seems to have stabilized a little bit. Seems to stabilize a little bit right now. So I think it's going to hold at the 140 for a bit before it makes another run for it. Maybe next year. Or maybe still, we're still early in the year. This box here, when these were sitting on shelves, I told everybody in stream to make sure they keep some of these sealed. This, at the start of the year, was selling for, at 120. I thought they were selling for about 100, to be honest. But we're at 160. We're at 160 right now on this box. We're on 160. So, this is crazy. The Pikachu's done the same thing. We're at 150 on the Pikachu. This was as low as $95, guys. We're now sitting at 150. A great hold. This was a EB Games / GameStop exclusive. This card here, out of Team Up. This non-textured basic GX. This is like pulling an EX today, guys. This is like pulling a normal EX card today. Is sitting at 80 USD. That's 100 AUD. It will actually, last solds are around, what are we seeing? 60 bucks, 70, $60. And that's up from $40 in a month. In a month. Is it because of the Evolving Skies packs? Not just because of that. It is a special product. You know, we've got anything tag team right now has been skyrocketing. It's the only thing that's really defying the market. Paldean Fates, Hidden Fates, and Tag Team are the sets that are defying the market right now. When we're seeing a 40% downturn across all the cards, which is, again, I always say, summer in the US is the perfect time to buy singles. These are the ones that are defying it. And in 1 month, chat, this is almost doubled in a month. Massive gains. Massive gains there. Pikachu V Union. This is a massive gain. We're going to say it's nothing. But $7 to $12. Again, you're looking at almost doubling here in price. If you're going on the lowest on for sale right now, $14. This is almost doubled in price, guys. So this comes out of the Celebrations box. This V Union card is also, even the Mewtwo V Union's making moves right now. Now I'm a bit worried about this one. Here. This looks like a buyout. So this has gone up from, we're looking at $35. We're sitting at $41. I don't know if someone's buying it. I mean, that really hasn't gone up much, right? It really hasn't gone up much. In fact, it's down from $55. But we do see, come on. 90 of these sold. There isn't even 90 available right now on TCG Player. There isn't even 90 available on TCG Player. Someone is buying all the stock, basically. Either they believe this is going to skyrocket, or they're going to try and manipulate the price. But someone is buying all the stock. I'm seeing 10, sales of 10 every couple of days. About 10 are selling. But at one point, someone bought 90 of them at $40. 90 at $40. So, take that information with what you will. I don't know if it's a buyout. I don't know if someone's just preempting that with the new Mewtwo. It's going to go up. That's generally what happens when we get a new card of a Pokemon that's popular. The older ones start to go up. Also going up, guys, is Monkey Dory. We have the Monkey Dory from Shrouded Fable, up from $16 to $27. That's up $10. In fact, last solds are over $30. Last solds on this are over $30. Someone got screwed here. Too lightly played, $36 a pop. But this bad boy's up. I like the art on this card. I don't like the Pokemon. I'm never going to buy this card. But if you're looking to buy this, probably not the right time to buy it now. Sun and Moon. We've got a lot of cards doing well on Sun and Moon. This one here started at $57. We're now at $70. In fact, last solds are at $80 of this card. Even $100. $110. This card has been doing some absolute work lately. Absolute work. And it's a beautiful card. We would consider this an alt art right now. We would consider this an alt art these days. This is an alternate art. I do call it, I've always called it an alternate art, in fact. But it is called a full art officially. And the one card that I'm going to be buying a couple of over the next couple of weeks, guys, is the Pokemon Center exclusive Eevee. Now, this is the one that is stamped with the Pokemon Center logo. This has had a massive fall from grace from $115 in the last month to $70. I can buy one right now for $70. I would be buying it. I'm unsure whether this is the bottom because it got down as low as 70, then it's gone back up to 78. It's gone back down. It's gone back up to 78. Thank you for the resub. Thank you for the resub, Aussie mate. But yeah, I'm thinking in the next week I'm going to pick up 2 or 3 of these. And maybe after I get back from the wedding because I've got some expenses for the wedding. And then I just hope I didn't miss the boat when they were at 70, and that they might be on the way back up. So, you know, 2 did sell at 70, 2 sold at 74. So I really hope I didn't miss that boat. But, you know, we've seen the last 3 selling now at 78. This goes for $1,000 in a PSA 10. This goes for 1,000 AUD in a PSA 10, guys. So this is another reason why I think it is a great buy. And if you guys don't know me, I don't buy for the money, but I'll always buy to get things to offset the amount I rip. When you're spending thousands a month on ripping, you've got to be getting sealed product and putting it aside and offloading that to at least minimize the expenses of your ripping. That's why I would get a couple of these, one to keep and a couple to grade, hoping that I get a PSA 10 and then selling them to, again, cover my expenses. You guys know when a set comes out, I'll rip like a case of it, especially Japanese. I'll rip at least a case until I get all the cards that I want. I'm generally a person that will rip for cards instead of buying for cards. Generally, when I buy for singles, it's because I've ripped a lot and I need to finish a master set, or I find that the price is very cheap, like what we've done on previous episodes, and I'm stockpiling on it. So when they go up, I can actually sell them for some money. But that concludes our market update, guys. I hope you all fucking enjoyed it. It's a lot of talking from me. And I'm sorry, we have been recording it for YouTube, so I haven't been reading chat too much. But we'll go back through chat now. We'll go back through chat right now. Thank you those that joined us on YouTube. We'll be ending that video now. Guys, we release these every week, and so look forward to the next one. If you did like it, please like, subscribe, and comment. It helps the algorithm gets our information out to other people out there. And appreciate seeing you guys next time. All right.